Let's talk about making money from a stock falling, baby. All right. So listen, I did a video on how to earn 10% a month using options. And I know some of you were like, how realistic is that? Can you really make 10% a month in the stock market? And I want to show you how it's possible. Now, I'm not saying you go do it. I'm just saying if you learn the skills that's needed, you can do it. So I want to show you inside one of my real trades and how I made $7,000 and 5,000 of that in about 72 hours, okay? Almost 100% return. So keep watching. I'm going to break down how we made that in a put trading case study with a stock falling down and it rained money right into the bank account. So in this video, because we're looking at a real live trade that I placed out on my account, I want to make sure we go over the disclaimer. So the Brown report, myself or any of my personnel, we're not registered brokers or dealers or investment advisors. So we do not give investment advice. We preach education and teaching you how to learn how to trade for yourself. Trade involves real risk. So before you ever make a real trade with real money, you should paper trade and consult with a licensed investment professional or advisor. I do not have any trade restrictions, so I can enter and exit trades with or without any notice to you. And again, there's no trading restrictions, and this is not to be misconstrued as investment advice. So now that that's out of the way, let's dive into the charts that allowed me to make the type of profits we made within 24 hours. So first thing I want to look at is the dates. So I want to call your attention to the dates because I think it's very important. I did a video on how you can make 10% a month trading options, and I got some flack for it. Some people like 10%, is that realistic? And most of it is just amateur traders or people who've never traded before in their life. So let me break it down for you. All right, so let's look at the date. Here you can see December 3rd is where we entered the trade. So BTO, buy to open, that's when we opened the trade. We bought some put options, and we'll talk about that. We'll look at the chart and show you why we picked some put options. But I want you to focus on the date, December 3rd. This was the cost of the trade right here, $6,510.24, okay? The next day, so here's what I want you to focus on, 24 hours later, okay? Exited the trade. We sold those options for $875, which means we bought it for $6,510. We sold it for $8,739 for a profit of $2,229. So here's what I want to do, some quick math for you. If you take 229, right, the 2,229, you divide it by the cash we put in, which is 6,510. If you divide that, you actually get a 34% return. So for those of you who are like, is it realistic to be able to get 10% return every month? Well, when you're trading options and you know how to leverage, you can see from this example, it was a 34% return. I'm gonna walk you through the trade, so follow me, pay attention. This is gonna be an interesting one. So let me clear the page. And let's look at the next one because I'm gonna walk you through these. Now let's look at the next one. I'm gonna turn the pen a different color for you here. So on this one, almost 30 days later, January 7th, 2016, entered this trade for $6,318. All right, so we actually got in the trade for less money than we did the first time. And about 4 days later, okay, you can see right here, BTO is buy to open, STC, that's sell to close. So we bought to open, and then I sold it to close it for, I paid $6,318, sold it for $11,681.36. This was the profit on that trade, $5,362.94. Now let me do the quick math for you again. 5,362 over 6,318, because that was our cost, as you can see right there. What type of return is that? That is an 84 34% return. That's real money that was traded in my account. Again, this is not investment advice. I'm not saying you'll make those type of returns, but I do think from time to time, sometimes we should show our trades and show you that this stuff is real and that it's possible. All right. So we just looked at a 34% return in 24 hours on this trade. We looked at an 84% return in about 4 days on this trade. And both trades, I only did this with $6,000 each time, 6,000 and some change. And you can see the net gain on that was $7,592. Now, let's talk about what happened before this. Okay, so how did we see this coming? How was this visualized? So let me first bring in a Facebook post that I posted inside of our private Facebook group. So I told you, remember those dates, December 3rd and December 4th, I was in and out of the trade. So you can see here, we posted this in our stock trading group. For those of you who have our options course, you get access to our private options trading group. And I posted this in here. I said, hey guys, it's been quiet in here. Oil stocks have been selling off. And this is one of the put calls that we looked at. And so I posted the chart and we looked at the trade. So I'm gonna walk you through it, but just remember the dates, December 3rd and December 4th for the first one. And then let me bring in the Facebook post of what we went through on the second one as well. So here you can see we talked about on January 7th. Okay, I posted this one at 7:10 in the morning. The market doesn't even open till 9:30. So I posted this at 7:10 in the morning. Said, hey, option traders, there's a stock we looked at before, right? Same one we just made some money on before, still in the bearish downtrend. I think the play is the $25 strike price, February $16 put. As of now, the market's closed. That option will go for roughly $2.80 to $3. Let's see how this one plays out and follow up. All right. So I'm not giving investment advice. I'm just telling them what I'm looking at, and they should paper trade it if they want to. OK, so let's look at the chart and let's talk about those dates and why was that significant? Why is it important to be able to read the chart? So in my foundations course, this is one of the trends we talk about, the downtrending stock. So it's one thing to notice this trend, but only way that you can profit from it is if you know how to trade options, or unless you have a big enough account to actually short the stock. But in order to play with it on a small to medium person's level, options is your leverage. And so that's why I preach learning options, because you can not only make money when the stock goes up, you can make money when the market goes down. Most people, the market's going down, they're panicking. Option traders who know how to trade puts, we're celebrating. Anyway, let's focus on the trade. So December 3rd, let me turn on my crosshairs. And I want to take you to December 3rd. All right. This is a case study for you. You should see the dates at the bottom of the screen. So December 3rd, this is where we spotted the stock and entered the trade. But what happened the day before? Let me turn the crosshairs off and I'm going to zoom in. I want to zoom in on what happened the day before. All right. Turn on my drawing tool. Here we go. So the day before, we saw this stock throw a doji right here and then near resistance. And so the next day I said, if this thing shows weakness, I'm in, because it's throwing these dojis near resistance. And then boom, showed this resistance right here. Now let me snap out of here and zoom back out. Actually, let me just turn to my eraser. There we go. Let's get that off the screen. Okay. So we saw this doji right here, and then we saw the stock start to sell off, and then boom, we caught that big bearish sell off, and then I took the money and ran. Now you could have stayed in it and caught this move as well as this move right here, but I knew I wanted to do a video about making money in 24 hours and that type of return. So I closed it out just so I could show you the proof that is possible. So I could have made more money on that, but I said, let me close it out and just show the power of trading options and getting in and out in 24 hours. So remember the date, entered on December 3rd, exited December 4th. Okay. Now let's go Fast forward to what happened on January 7th when we got back in. So on January 7th, you can see right here where I have this arrow drawn, it threw a doji again right there, right at resistance. Only this time it fell below the downtrending line. So I knew the the bottom of the line would be resistance. You can see it happen here. Stock ran up, hit its head. So what did I do? When it started to run back up again, I was like, I already seen this story before. Knew it threw a doji, which is indecision day, and then boom, this thing sold off big time. So we got in on this day right here. Remember I posted that at about 7 o'clock in the morning before the market opened. As soon as the market opened, I was all over this trade. So this was the first day in, boom. That was the 7th. This was the 8th. This was the 9th. And this was the 10th. All right. So this candlestick right here was the one that I got out on. Now I could have obviously stayed in there and there, but I preach to not be greedy, take your profit and run. The moral of the story is those type of returns are available for you to make in this type of market if you know what you're looking for, if you have the proper training, and if you know how to trade options, then it's available for you. This is real money, real trades. And once you know how to spot them, you'll start to get excited about the downside of the market more than you get excited about the upside. Because when you find downtrending stocks, you're just able to just jump on them and make those type of profits. So I wanted to do this case study and just show you, number one, you can make 10% a month trade. And I just showed you a trade where it was 34%, and the second one where it was 84%. That puts you up for the next 2-3 months. You don't even have to make a trade. So we're ahead of the game, right? And then secondly, learning how to read charts. You need the knowledge. It's important. Thirdly, you need to be able to trade options, because when you can trade options, it doesn't matter if the market is going up, down, or sideways. You have an arsenal of solutions to make money no matter what the market is throwing at you. So as you can see, there's real opportunity in the stock market, especially for those of us who know how to trade options and make money on the downside of the market.